Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a special Tuesday version of the Vobes Show. It should have been out tomorrow, but I won't be around tomorrow. And in the studio, we've got a mystery guest. Ladies and gentlemen, I wonder who it is. Is it the lovely Julia? No, wait a minute. Julia doesn't have those rather nice glasses, although she does have that colour hair. So I wonder, mystery guest, could you say a few words and see if we recognise who you are?
Hi, everyone.
Wait a minute. I know that voice. I know that voice. You're an imposter. That's the wonderful, the lovely Emily Champion, ladies and gentlemen. Ta-da! The big reveal.
I'm all sweaty.
It's a bit hot underneath that, isn't it?
At what point shall I tell you I've got knits?
Well, don't worry, I'm not wearing it ever again. We'll save it.
Sling it in the back.
Yeah, sling it in the back. Did you get knits from the kids?
No,
but that's a serious thing, though, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
For those that don't know, the lovely Emily Champion is a school teacher. But yeah, because when we had kids, I mean, I still have them, but they don't go to school, and they would be covered in knits.
Yeah, they would.
And do they still come? What do they do?
I've had knits once, but as a child.
Oh, right, not as a teacher.
Not as an adult, no.
So they don't jump to adults?
No,
I mean,
I don't try and... I'm never that close to kids, you know, to touch my head on theirs.
No,
I'm very wary of this happening.
Yes.
So I definitely
so
don't
all your
want
children, you have them on the back wall.
Yeah, they're as far away as possible with my megaphone.
Yes. Now look at the board, children.
You boy.
You boy at the back of the school playing field. Yes.
Stop scratching.
Don't stand next to the other one.
Yeah.
Whoever you are.
So no, I don't really want to be going around touching them.
No.
They get scabies and all sorts, don't they?
Gosh.
And warts. They get
golly,
warts.
what's scabies?
They're little mites that burrow into your skin.
Oh, nice.
And they tend to go in armpits and groin areas. No.
Anybody itching at the moment? Oh, I've got scabies today. Yeah, it's all right for you. Last week it was babies. This week it's scabies. Have you done your homework? Oh, maybe.
Oh, sorry, the scabies ate it.
Scabies ate it.
Made me itch. Yeah, so there's that. What else was it? I can't remember. What was the other thing? So knits. Scabies. Oh, warts. That was it.
Oh, warts.
A lot. Yeah.
Kids get warts.
And it's not just, it's not just one wart on their hand. It's like their whole hands are covered in warts.
How do you get warts?
Well, they spread. They're like a bit like verrucas.
Oh, okay.
So they do spread. And then they pass you their pencil and you think,
I'm not touching that.
No thanks.
And then, I mean, I used to remember that they used to say if you get a cow to lick a wart, it will go away.
I thought it was a sixpence or something.
There's all these old wives too. If you've got a remedy for warts, we'd love to know that. Hello, by the way, we're just chatting amongst ourselves here. Nice to see everybody. Richard Suggett's there, Kevin Hall, Mark Selwood, Nigel Cooper, Dave Ford, Paul Hine, Andy Dalgleish, hello to all of you. The lovely Julia, of course. Shirley Ward, Nikki Jess, June Ann Mary, Steve Blakey, Matthew Holdsworth, many more coming all the time. Fiona Cooper, who we saw today. Hello to you, Fiona. Claire Leach, David Carey, thank you so much for coming on. It's a bit of a strange show because I'm going to a funeral tomorrow. And you were going to come over tomorrow, but I thought I might be in a bit of a miserable mood and might have a bit of ash all over me. You know what it's like, because they're a bit short at the creme. So any volunteers to help? It's just sad. It's a cheap funeral. So that's what I'm up to. So we thought we'd just get one in. Hello, George Timperley. Hello, George. Keep watching, George. You might see yourself in the show today. Little clue as to what might be coming up. Jason Beeching, Anne Evans, hello to you. Steve Pilfold, Facebook app issues, dodgy updates keep crashing. Sorry about that, Steve. Simon Brown, Terence, there's loads of you coming in tonight. Terence Dacombe, Mark English, hello Marky. With a Q.
With a Q.
Mr. With a Q.
In a queue. Or out of the queue.
Yes, in or out of your queue, Mr. With a Q. Cynthia Walder, Kushti Phil, Andy Joy, Glenn Johnson, Pam Earnshaw, lots and lots of people.
They're all here tonight.
So if I didn't call your name, I do apologise. By the way, we are live on Facebook, not on YouTube. I still get, even though I say that, I get on YouTube every now and again a little, hello.
Oh, no.
And they think it's live. It's not. It's nice of you. Hello.
No, they're still saying hello.
Now, let's get to the post bag first of all, Emily, before we get into all the exciting stuff. Post bag, I've been asking for Christmas cards. This year, I want to get Christmas done by the end of November. Not it done, but the Christmas card stuff. And actually, the lovely Julia and I were we went to the Spa Valley Railway. More on that a bit later. But we went to a pub afterwards to have a meal. Yeah, well, it was a very expensive meal there. We went to the Spa Valley Railway, we went to this pub, and in the back of the pub, bear in mind it's what is it today? The 23rd of October. There was Christmas music.
So they didn't even put the Halloween stuff out?
No, there was no Halloween.
No scary stuff.
No scary stuff. There wasn't the Monster Mash or any other scary tunes. Whatever. There's not so many hits at when is it? Easter.
Easter.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah. They were playing Christmas music. It was just bizarre. But anyway.
Oh well. Gets you in the mood.
We have a card. Oh. Lovely Emily is going to reveal the card to you. Now, this, you'll have to just show the
Do we need a
picture.
fanfare for this?
Oh, yes, hang on. Fanfare coming up. I can do fanfares.
We're going to big it up.
We're going to big it up. Here is the card, ladies and gentlemen, that came in today. I'm just going to zoom in a bit. Can you go over a bit to your right? There we go. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you recognise those two faces. One a little uglier than the other, but the handsome one is wearing glasses. Yes, Richard and Julia, wishing you both good health and a jolly Christmas. So, who is that from, Emily Champion? Where did it come from? On the inside.
To the lovely Richard and the lovely Julia, wishing you a fun-filled Yuletide with lots of love, laughter, sparkles and unicorns. Here's to oodles of bold explorer adventures peppered with fun, frolics, and even more unicorns in 2019.
Oh, blimey.
With jingle bells, Christmas greetings from Maggie, Robbie, and a woof from Dottie.
Ah, Maggie and Robbie and Dottie, thank you so much. That's so lovely. So we're going to have to put that in a prominent place at some juncture.
I'll prop it.
Prop it there for the mo. There we are. Look at that. It's propped over my propagator.
Yeah. It's doubling up.
It's doubling up. So there we are. When the acorn does its little...
It'll be like,
yes.
I'm going back in.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. If you want to send a postcard to me, richard@vobes.com, send an email. I'll give you my address if you haven't got it. And your, not postcard, Christmas card. Thank you. It could be on the thing. Yeah. It's been a while since we had the Emily Champion on the show. What have you been up to recently? You had trouble with your car.
Yeah, trouble with the car. It blew up on me and... Yeah, just being at work, really.
Being at work as a school teacher.
Teaching naughty kids.
Naughty kids.
Well, do you know what?
No.
Touch wood. Touch wood.
Plenty of wood here.
My class are lovely.
Well, of course they are.
They are. And I've never said that in all the years I've been teaching.
Oh, is that right? Is it the first time you've had a lovely class?
It's the first time I've got a lovely class and they are very cute.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah, they're only 7 and 8.
Yeah, how many do you teach again?
I've got 11 in my class.
11. Imagine that, having 11.
I know, imagine that.
It's so easy. I mean, do you ever, what I was going to say is, imagine if you had to, do you ever have those moments, you know, like in the films where it goes, and you imagine yourself in a main school, in a mainstream school with 33 or 40 odd kids, what that would be like? You've done it?
I've done it, yeah.
How does that in comparison?
Well, that's hard when you've got over 30 kids, but what's even worse is when you do supply teaching.
Oh, right.
That is awful because they just send you, and you know why they sent you to that school, because the teacher that you're covering has probably had a nervous breakdown somewhere. And you get sent back again and again to the same schools, and you get kids who are doing their business number ones in the classroom. They'll just get it out and go to the toilet.
You're joking?
No. I've had kids...
How old are they?
Well, these were 10 and 11-year-olds.
Get in their little...
Yeah.
And what do they do? Just on the floor?
Yeah. They're like, Miss, there's a mess on the floor. And you're like, well, how's that happened? They're like, oh, he's just done a wee on the floor. It's like, what?
And what nobody... I mean, what self-respect... What self-respecting child would get his little...
I don't know.
...thing and just... on the floor.
And then there was another time where you get this...
I am gobsmacked.
Most of the time when you're on supply, you don't get given anything. But this one time, I got this one bit of paper that told me the times of the school day, which is helpful because not all schools have the same day. So I had the times of the school day. I had briefly what kind of lessons I was going to teach, which was great. So I had this thing in my pocket, and I had to go out on break duty because they always make people on supply do break duty because everyone else goes in the staff room as a drink or whatever else they're having. Yeah. So
couple of Valium. Get through the day.
So I'm on duty, and this kid comes up, steals the bit of paper out of my pocket and throws it in the school pond.
So that you won't know the times?
Yeah, and then laughed at me and went, like that, and then ran off. And this poor woman who was a teacher, she had crutches, and then they took her crutches away and she couldn't get back inside. It's just awful.
No, that's not.
They dragged us.
They took her crutches. Poor woman. I'm saying.
I've seen all sorts.
That is just. You could write a book about that.
I could have a whole list of things in a book.
My goodness, I cannot believe that children in this day and age.
3-year-olds telling me to F off.
3-year-olds.
3-year-olds. I know.
It's because we're not allowed to slap them anymore.
Oh God, it was awful.
Good God, what blimey!
And you know that's why you don't get many teachers staying in the profession.
Yes,
because
I'm not at all surprised. So do you think people go into the profession with rose-tinted glasses? They think it's
the worst bit is obviously you're trained for teaching your subjects. If you're teaching all the subjects, you're trained to do that. You're trained to teach your specialism. You're trained to do the paperwork, all that kind of thing. But you know, you go on teaching practice, and it's for short periods of time. So you know, in a typical day, you might only teach maybe 1 or 2 lessons on your teaching practice. Only towards the end do you start to teach more and more in the whole day. But then you go from that, and you're thrown into a classroom, which you're now left by yourself. Kids, just crazy kids, trying to get all the paperwork done. And you're also trying to pass your first year, because if you don't pass your first year, then you can't be a teacher. So you're now being assessed and observed all the time whilst you're dealing with all this stress. So it's really hard. Really hard.
Yeah. It sounds impossible.
Yeah.
Stevie Blakey says he reminds us of the cane, which clearly needs to come back.
And the chokey.
He says, I was caned a lot. The what? The chokey?
Yeah.
Who said that?
No, I said it.
Oh, in Matilda. Oh, I see, yes. Bring back capital punishment in school, says Martin Snow.
Capital punishment or corporal punishment?
I think you mean corporal, don't you? Capital is a bit,
You know, they only stopped that corporal punishment in, what was it, 1995?
Really?
Yeah, so schools could still do that.
They could do it, they just chose not to.
Yeah.
Oh, good gosh.
So it's actually not that long ago.
My God. Well, Linda Kane is shouting, parents. It has to be the parents.
Sorry, I'm really sorry, but it does. It comes back down to the parents. It really, you know, because the thing is, you see these parents come in and you think, that is why your kid is like that. Because you see it. They come in all guns blazing.
Yeah.
Swearing.
And they're not getting it from school.
Not really.
No, because you can see
because
that. But
I certainly don't allow it in classraums.
Well,
and other teachers wouldn't.
And there's too many protocols, as you just described. You've got so many box ticking.
It sounds awful, but it is a bit like a prison, because if you think about it, you have set times when you're allowed to go to break time, to lunch time. Most schools have bells. I mean, ours don't anymore. We don't use the bell, but. You know, it is very similar to what a prison would be like. Not that I've been in a prison, I wouldn't be able to comment on that.
So regimented.
Regimented.
Yeah.
And you do have these routines, which children like routines. They thrive on it. But then, you know, I don't know what happens when they get home, but, you know, even having conversations with some parents where you say, well, what's your bedtime routine like? And they're like, what do you mean, bedtime routine? Like, do they have a bath or a shower, and then do they read? And they're like, well, no, they just go to bed when they're tired. Well,
you see, the thing is, I wonder that there's a I don't think the parents are to blame. I mean, someone says it's the parents, but I think it goes one step beyond that. It's probably the parents of the parents, because there seems to be a generation that's let the parents not understand how to bring up children, because nobody tells you how to bring up. I mean, not that when I brought up children nobody told us, but from my schooling and my time, you were frightened of policemen, you respected the police. The policeman could whack you round the ear. And we've gone into this very softy, oh, you mustn't touch them.
Too frightened to tell children no.
Exactly. So I think the parents of today have this, well, they weren't brought up by parents who knew about being strict and stuff and let them get away with it, and now they don't know how to bring up kids today.
And I've also had conversations with parents now, you know, with the children now, who said they came from a home that did discipline them and they didn't like it, so now they're not going to do that to their own children, but they've let it be too loose.
So they've gone the extreme.
Yeah, so now their children don't know whether they're coming or going. You know, and I'm not saying you've got to go home and beat your children, but no, don't. You know, you don't need to do that. Words are enough, but you need to have words that build them up as opposed to bring them down.
And stick to those words.
And stick to them, and be very clear with what you will accept and what you won't accept.
Yes.
That's the thing. It's kind of woolly. People don't know whether, oh, is that all right? Well, you know, am I doing the right thing?
I think it's very easy to, I mean, I talk from a parent from the last generation, so I know that I'm a bit out of sync, but I think there's that thing that where if you threat something, I'm going to take this away if you don't do that, you've got to carry out anything you say. You've got to carry it through, because otherwise I think the children go, they work out tactics, and it may be subconscious. I don't necessarily think it's oh, I know if I do this, I get that. But I think it's on a subconscious level. They know if they whine in this way or they muck about in this way that the parent will go, oh, all right then.
Well, this is it. And then they say, oh, well, and when I count to 5. Well, the child always waits for the number 5, don't they?
Yes, that's true.
2. Just
count to 5.
Don't do it.
Yeah, when I count to 1, right.
It's done. Anyway.
So having now just upset all the parents out there,
sorry,
but
I'm not a guru or anything.
No. But you're observing these kids, which must be across.
You do see patterns,
and these are kids with people who are have a religious bent.
Yeah, so, because they're so busy doing their socialising, you know, with other people within their religious community, that they just let the kids run riot. You know, like, oh well, they're in another room. Like, I won't worry about that.
Doing whatever the kids are doing.
Children up until 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and you wonder why they can't keep their eyes open the next day, and they're mucking about.
And this is the next generation. These are the people who'd be running the world.
Exactly.
Or not.
You can't even get a good night's sleep.
Richard Suggett says, thank you. I've been saying schools are prisons.
Did you not like school, Richard?
No, I hated it.
I loved it.
Parents says, Claire Leach says, parents have too much control over the teachers, and they know it.
Yes, they do. They do. They come in talking about this, that and the other, but actually they're not in that situation. They don't know what kind of stress you're under when you're dealing with 30 children.
No.
You know, and they come in and they want this done, that done. Well, they are doing their best. They are doing their best.
Nick Tan says he'll slap anyone who disagrees with him.
Dry slap.
Martin So says it's the loony left looking to destroy society. Steve Blakey says, love the film. I don't know what film they're talking about. Mark Selwood says he used to like the blackboard rubber whizzing across the classroom. Steve...
Not scratching on the chalkboard though.
Oh no, not that. I don't think violence is the answer.
No, we're not asking. We're
not
violence.
Really saying that.
No, we're just asking for some kind of discipline.
Yes, and I guess parents just don't know what to do, how to and then you leave it too long, and then it's almost too late. But it's probably never too late. But it's pulling those reins back.
Too late for some people. But this whole thing of discipline is not supposed to be something that's done to you. Discipline is supposed to be internal. You're supposed to be disciplined yourself. So if everyone can control themselves, then no one should be able to control you.
Yes,
that's the whole point.
And I think that's the other thing. Is discipline sounds like, if you discipline your child, it sounds like it's a really nasty thing that you're doing.
No.
But as I had a conversation with the lovely Julia, and we were talking about, I said, about breaking their will, as it were. And she said, well, that sounds awful because it's like you're doing it with an animal.
Yeah.
But I didn't mean it in that way. I meant it's like you've got to train. You train an animal for its own benefit.
Yeah.
So that it will be able to live with you and abide by our.
Well, this is it. It's the
moral
long-term benefits, because ultimately they've got to go out into the world as an adult. If they can't, play by the rules that everyone else has to, then
they'll be unemployable.
They'll
won't have any friends.
Yeah, the list goes on.
They'll turn to
you're
crime.
doing them a favour, really.
Or drugs or all that. So
that's all it is.
It's just and once you get it in early, then they'll be lovely.
Yeah.
So apparently, Kevin Hall says a teacher told me once that a 5-year-old had said to him, "You can't touch me, or you'll be in trouble." Ooh. And that's the trouble. If you give the power to the child, they don't know what to do with the power other than use it.
Maybe he got the wrong end of the stick with that word touch.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, that's it. Just now, Stuart. Here we are. Stuart Douch is a headmaster at Sompting. Hello, Stuart. We're talking about kids at school and discipline and lack of. And I'd be interested to know at your school, Sompting Abbots, do any of the youngsters there get their todger out and have a wee on the floor in class? As Emily has just explained, that happens.
That was an inner city school, a London school as well.
That was yes. So we're down here in the countryside.
I'm not saying it happens
None of it
everywhere.
happens in Sussex. None of it. Henry David Allam says only just switched on by the just switched on from working at the Beaconscott Model Village Railway for 10 years. I've seen children's behaviour go downhill. Yeah. Well, they live at the bottom, don't they? Because you have to get up to the top.
10 years to get up to the top.
Yeah, 10 years.
That's hard.
It's a small
That's
hill
a
as well.
Round.
I'm only joking, Henry. My dad used a horse to whip me, and my brothers, says Dean Cooper, used a horse whip on me and my brothers when we were younger. He used to be a jockey. He was in training, though. I mean, that's fair, Well, I used to juggle. So I could throw balls at my kids.
I juggle too.
Or make them ride the unicycle if they were naughty.
Got my poi boy out.
I'm sorry?
Do you
got your toy boy out?
Poi boy.
Oh, poi boy.
That was it. Fire, poi boy.
Dear, oh dear. Say what you mean and mean what you say, says Pam Earnshaw. Joe Smith has just joined. I hated school, but I also work in prisons and schools. Says Richard Suggett, mending fridges.
Right, okay.
Not dealing with the inmates, but you never know. They've probably got their own fridges these days.
Whittling.
Oh, I beg your pardon. Yes, did they whittle in class?
No twiddling in class.
To report of as writing. Oh, good. That's all right.
You don't want to go up to London then.
James DeWill says there aren't many trees in London, so I guess a London child wouldn't know where to see. Quite sure what you mean by that. But of course, not all children are naughty. No, not all children are naughty. No,
some are lovely.
And
I've got a whole class of them that are lovely.
Yes, we're not talking about the nice ones, are we? We're talking about all those horrible
the ones that spoil it for everyone else.
But there we go. Anyway, let's crack on. We've got some stuff. So I'm getting thirsty, first of all.
I'm thirsty. I'm so parched.
So, ladies and gentlemen, when Emily Champion always comes, because she's a teacher, self-contained and prepared. So what luscious drinks have you got, or drink, shall I say, have you got lined up for the old Vobie one-eyed connect?
Shall we go to the old...
Let's get the camera up for you. Hold one mo. Here it comes. Beep.
Ooh, I nearly fell forward. Nearly threw it at the screen.
So how are you pronouncing that? Is that Belvoir
didn't we
or
have
Beaver?
All that before?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll have Beaver.
Beaver.
Beaver raspberry lemonade.
There we go. Bit of Beaver.
Bit of Beaver. Beaver juice.
All right, yeah. So is this fizzy? Oh, did you say fizzy?
It is, yes.
Yeah. Lovely.
Gently bubbling with real raspberries and lemons.
Well, that's nice. We like a bit of gentle bubbling in this show. So, what a lovely gloop.
Oh, that was a nice sound.
We do like a gloop as well over here. Are you having a gloopy time? If you're drinking something nice, cheers to you. Be very nice. It's a nice pinky colour. I like that pinky colour. Have a sluicy. Now, the last gentleman who was in the studio with me, Jonathan Beluzic, he brought in a bottle of beer. He gave us each a little bit. I finished mine. He finished his. there was about half left in the bottle. And he just finished the rest of the bottle. Didn't share any of it. And I pointed it out to him. And he said, no. And then he went on to talk about, talk about art.
Oh, dear.
No art in him.
No.
Sorry, Jonathan, but it was noted by a number of people. Anyway, so let's try this. This is, what did you say it was? Strawberry or raspberry?
Raspberry.
Raspberry. P, by the way.
Raspberry.
The P is silent, isn't it, in raspberry? Not when I say, oh, it smells nice, though. No beavers in that. A lot of Belvoir.
Got a bit of beaver hair in my mouth.
Oh. Jolly good. I won't ask where that came from. That's very refreshing.
That's refreshing.
And it is, as it says, lightly sparkling.
It is.
And presumably that sparkling has come from, not from carbonated stuff added at the time.
100% good.
100% good. Well, that's nice. We like a bit
Real
of 100%
pressed raspberry and lemon juices blended with spring water.
Ah, that's what
to give a soft, refreshing alternative to traditional lemonade.
Oh.
100% natural ingredients and no flavourings. Lots of real pressed juice for a genuinely fruity taste. Blended with gently sparkling spring water.
Gently sparkling spring water. So the sparkling spring water has probably been carbonated at that point. So, because I used to make...
Got the beaver to fart in it.
Thanks. No wonder the children are well behaved in your class with beavers farting in it. I can't remember what I was going to say. Oh, yes, I used to make fizzy drinks, but there was citric acid you could shove in.
Soda stream?
No. These were like little powdered, it was like in a chemistry set. You could get some citric acid.
Right.
And something else. And it was like Alka-Seltzer. You know Alka-Seltzer?
Yeah.
But it wasn't
just
Alka-Seltzer.
blowing your drinks up.
But it would zizz up on its own.
Not zhuzh.
No, not zhuzh. Zhuzh hadn't been invented.
Zhuzh is too much.
Yeah, zhuzh. There were no such thing as zhuzhes.
It's not zhuzhing, is it?
No.
It's a zzz.
That's right. It was a good,
zhuzh.
proper, nice zzz. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on to the next item, whatever that happens to be, in a moment. But I want to just show you something. I've been out to the Spa Valley Railway.
Nice. Did you get a massage?
No. Do they do massages at the Spa
Well, I would
Valley?
have thought they would at a spa.
Oh, well, it's a spa because it's Tunbridge Wells, you see. Tunbridge Wells, where the spa water is.
Okay.
We went to the Spa Head. The lovely Julia and I. Julia was accompanying me and with Elijah, and we went to the Spa Head where the water, but it was all shut. Oh. Yes, I think it dried up for Christmas. Which was a bit of a shame. Anyway, I went there to meet the lovely George Symphony. And I keep getting his name wrong, as you will see. Timperley. Good old George Timperley. It's a lovely name. I don't want to keep ruining it, but I have. Sorry, George.
What did you
put in there? It's a little bit of gin in there, don't you know? Thank you very much.
Scratched out the alcohol.
Anyway, met up with George, and we did a little behind the scenes, which will be in the behind the scenes. But here's a little preview of part of that behind the scenes.
In front of the scenes.
In front of the scene. And by the way, we nipped onto a train that we weren't supposed to be in. Every door had
a handle.
Yeah, they had a handle, but the handles had been what are those plastic things that bind?
Oh, what's sealed?
Yeah,
like when you get in a hospital, when that plastic magically comes out and covers the handle.
No.
Oh.
No, it's what do you call it? That plastic thing that you. They use it for criminals now, don't they?
Oh, handcuffs.
No, not handcuffs. They didn't have handcuffs on.
I was taken away on the train.
Like cable ties.
Oh.
Cable ties. Anyway, they put these things to stop people getting through, and we were just rattling along there, and I opened one of them, and it was open, so we nipped in there, and this is what we recorded. Yeah. So, it's... What day is it?
It's Tuesday, the 21st.
Yeah, the 23rd.
Yeah.
It's Tuesday the 23rd, and I'm with George Timperley. Timperley. I keep getting your name wrong. I'm sorry.
You do, yeah.
Slap me. Missed. No, not on the head. George Timperley. Lovely name. Get it right when you say it, or there'll be trouble. We're at a platform waiting on a train, as you can see. The train hasn't come for ages. I don't know why. This is... not like any train that I've been on for the last 10, 20 years. Where are we?
We're at Spa Valley Railway in Tunbridge Wells.
The Spa Valley Railway in Tunbridge Wells. What kind of railway is that?
It's a preserved railway.
Oh, what, like one of them heritage things?
Heritage railway, yeah.
And why are we here?
Oh, we're doing a video.
Oh yeah, yes, right. We're doing a video, and not just in the behind the scenes. We're actually doing it one with the, you know,
yeah,
with a microphone. Hello, I'm George Timperley, and you're Richard Vobes.
Yeah, the bald explorer.
Yeah, I like how bald you are, and very bold too. We're actually in a carriage. I don't think we're supposed to be in here. It's on the station, but we thought, oh well, whatever. We'll come in, and we're going to get on a train. And where are we going to?
We're going to Groombridge and then further on to Eridge.
And that's all in Kent?
No, because...
Where's Groombridge then?
Groombridge is in Kent, but Eridge, I think, is in East Sussex.
So we're kind of weaving in and out the counties?
Today, yeah.
Today. Because obviously, you know, the police are after us and they may want to know where we are. To reprobates like us, they may think, hello, we'll be avoiding them by disappearing in each county. And then at some point, do I get to push you off the train? Over a bridge into a river? Do I not get to do that?
No, you don't.
Like in the films? Or do we both get to sort of wrestle the gun from you and you push me out the train?
Running along the roof of the train.
Hey! We're going to run along the roof of the train, ladies and gentlemen. We actually may not do that.
No, I think we might get told off.
Yeah, it might be dangerous as well.
Yeah, with the bridges.
Oh yeah, because they had low bridges in those days. They still have the same bridges. Yeah. Anyway, so that's what we're doing today. So you'll have to wait for the video. It's going to be fantastic because this lad, who's only 13, only just 13, is a fount of knowledge, aren't you?
Yeah.
It just all the words come, all that knowledge comes spewing out of you. Oh look, there's somebody. Don't move. Just look like we're dummies.
He's public.
Oh, he's a member of the public. I was like, yeah. Somebody walked past. We were going to get thrown out.
Yeah.
Right, we better stop. Anyway, this is our platform.
It is.
Oh yeah.
Not our platform though.
Oh, it's not technically ours that we can put in our pocket. Oh, and I just should say, we're on the purple timetable. Don't know what that means, actually.
Diesels.
Oh, diesels, yeah. Brave. There we go. So there we are, ladies and gentlemen, on the Spa Valley Railway, and the video will be coming soon. He's a smart-looking boy, isn't he?
He is.
He knows his stuff.
He knows his onions.
He does know his onions, and Richard Suggett knows his garlics. Yeah. Anyway, so thought you'd enjoy that, George. A little preview of it, and there'll be more coming up fairly soon. Now, in the studio. We're all getting a little bit more peckish. We are getting peckish.
Sweet and smoking.
Sweet and smoking. So now you've been rummaging around the supermarkets.
I go to the back of everything. You're like, ooh, what's that?
What's not selling?
Yeah. What
have they
what's
had
your
for
lowest selling product?
So what have you discovered now? Hang on, here comes the zoom.
Hippies.
Hippies. Hip peas.
Organic chickpea puffs.
Oh, puffs. That does sound a bit bizarre.
We don't follow the rest of the snack pack. We go our own way. We think taste good and do good can be in the same sentence. Okay. We totally love snacks.
Totally liking the accent there.
I don't know
who's it made pretend it
Peace,
turns out?
love and
is it Walkers? Or made by Walkers in the same factory?
Yeah.
I don't think it is though, is it? Is it some unique...
It's produced in a place in Oval Road in London.
Oh, well, they are.
It's got everything free. So it's probably like crisp free.
Yeah.
So no MSG, vegan, gluten free, high in fibre, no trans fat, source of protein, dairy free, corn free, no preservatives.
Yeah, it's just a load of chickpeas.
So it's just a puff of air.
That is the thing. I mean, if you take out everything, you might at some point not have anything in there.
Just see a bit of dust off the floor.
Yeah, here we go.
Don't be cheap.
Nice and cheap. So, the lovely Emily Champion has opened up the bag.
This annoys me as well. Half of the packet.
Oh, yeah.
It really annoys me.
Oh, well, it does say, was it somewhere in very small print, it'll say, it might settle in transport. But it's
biggest load of rot.
Yes, it's like big bag, it pulls the eye, and you think you're getting a big bag, and actually only get half a dozen. So what are they? Oh, okay, so they're like what's-its.
Do you know what they taste like? They taste like the sort of thing you give your
dog
Your
food.
toddler, when you know when they're first trying crisps
Oh, right.
for the first time,
They look like what's-its.
they're like flavourless.
Oh, are they?
When you try one, you'll know what I mean.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Do you know what I mean? You get it as a kid's toddler pack,
Oh, yeah.
and you only steal one from your child when you're really, really hungry. You're like, oh, give me one of those.
There's no...
No flavour.
But there's no Moorish quality to that.
No, I'm just.
You don't go,
No, go. Oh,
oh, I can sit there and munch on these.
but we can because there's nothing in it. We're not
There's
going to get fat.
No, you're not going to get any satisfaction.
I'm not going to get a twitch.
It needs a bit of salt or something to make you go, oh, you know, that thing, whatever it is, that makes you go, oh, I must have another, and then keep buying them.
I mean, they're quite. They're not as airy as like a what's it.
No,
They're a bit more
and not as
solid
greasy.
inside.
Not as greasy.
No, they're not. They're just
Give them
bitty.
their dues.
Oh.
I mean, and if you haven't eaten, you know, if you're in a desert and you haven't eaten for 6 months,
Well, you take it, wouldn't you?
probably tastes just like the sand.
Nutritious. A bit sad on it.
It's got a sort of sandy quality, actually.
Now you say it.
Can anybody recommend something equally as innocuous? Innocuous? Do I mean that? Devoid of flavour?
It's very similar to a toddler packet of crisps.
Now, I was somewhere, I won't say where, but I had a Farley's Rusk not so long ago, and that's pretty flavourless, without sugar, without, you know, any of that sort of stuff that you want.
It's exciting.
Yeah. And I thought, I thought it might be a bit sugary, or, but no, nothing. It was as dry.
Maybe
as
they've taken the sugar out.
dry as a bone. And for babies, you can see that you wouldn't want to encourage that.
No.
Not from
Chips
birth.
biscuits.
Give them a nice, healthy, nice biscuit with all that sugar on
Well,
the
I
top.
knew of a lady who was. She wasn't given like powdered baby milk when she was a baby and a toddler. She was given just pure carnation milk, and by the time she'd actually had teeth, they had to give her false teeth because it just rotted away her whole mouth.
Oh my God!
I mean, that's really bad.
So that carnation milk, what is what?
It's just
Like
it's
evaporated
just very,
milk, or
yeah, it's just like sugary milk, isn't it?
It's very concentrated,
Putting
isn't
that
it?
in a baby's bottle and sucking on that all day and night.
People out there,
Nuts!
out there,
Out there, I don't know where
just
you
out
are.
there. Not in here. You think we're mad?
I'm going to come and find you.
Yeah, there are some weirdos. Fancy doing that, putting carnation.
There's your
milk.
Christmas serviette.
Oh yeah, thanks. Oh yes, Christmas serviette, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. We've got little robins on one
Couple of
side.
little birds.
Oh, they're not robins,
they're
are they?
They're a couple of tits, aren't they? Pair of tits.
There's more than a pair. Oh, there's a pair on.
There's a pair of
they're
tits
not
on the
tits,
back.
Are they? They're very
Are they
exotic.
tits?
I
What
don't
are they?
know.
What are they? Anyone know?
They look like bearded
Tits.
tits.
Talking of tits, there's a couple of down here.
Anyway,
Sorry.
we're
Talking
having,
about birds here.
yeah, birds, ladies and gentlemen, birds. Actually, I do remember. It does remind me of a story that when I was with the lovely Harriet up in Shrewsbury, or Shrewsbury, as some people choose to say it.
Start that one.
She in the back of her house she had a long garden, Victorian sort of terrace, but it was end of terrace. No, it was a semi-detached, but on a series of terrace. Anyway, it doesn't matter. 2 up, 2 down. Sitting out the back, brick back, and there was a little bit where a brick had been recessed
Right.
or had been taken out, and one day we were sitting there one spring, whenever it was. And these tits, blue tits, great tits. I think they were great tits.
That's a matter of opinion.
Would fly in and out and get some food and fly in and out of this. And we were sitting there one day, and neighbours, you know,
And a tit flew
on
in your
either
face.
side, and the birds going in, and I, because they can't see into this bit of the garden. And we'd been chatting away, you know, laughing and joking. And then this bird came flying out, and I just said, quite innocently, very loud, I said, wow, look, you've got a pair of great tits.
You didn't say get your tits out.
And Harriet just looked at me, thinking what the neighbours must have interpreted from that. And I was looking at her going, what? But they are great tits. I'm sure they're great tits. And of course, you know, I do sometimes have a loudish voice. So it must have...
never.
It must have carried over.
You must have been whispering.
Yes. If you're listening, George Timperley...
Sorry.
We're talking about birds. You're not quite old enough to know what other references we might be.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
No, you see, I blame the parents now. I blame the adults now. It's not the children who are...
we're talking about birds.
Now, here we go. I've got the same snaggy problem that I had the other day, where
That's annoying.
Yeah. Sometimes for some reason we're live, we're still broadcasting, but I can't see all the comments. What do we got here? What's it? Oh yes, polystyrene curls. They are a bit. You're munching them up though, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm
going to have to catch up. Here we are. Look, I've got to grab a couple there. Dean Cooper says, thank you, Richard, for the video. George is a wealth of knowledge in trains of bygone years, mostly steam, and a great artist. We'll have to send you his gallery and his bedroom. Oh, yes, all the walls are completely covered. Thank you again for today. Dean, it was an absolute pleasure. So pleased to do it. I hope George, got something out of it. It was great fun. It was great fun. And it was nice to meet all the other clan. So, yeah, it was a shame. It was a bit chilly today. So we would have
fresh out there.
Stopped off at, what was the play? Goodfield or somewhere. Groves End,
Good golly.
Between Edridge and another one, there was that, whatever that name of that place was. George will know, where we were going to go. It looked a very nice platform, the one that they moved and built the houses in, you know. That one. Anyway, Goodridge, good. I can't remember. Anyway, it was good fun. But we didn't linger any longer than necessary because it was a little bit cold.
There's a bit of a chill on your chest. Did you not put your vest on today?
I didn't put my vest on. I will have to get the old string vest out.
Yeah, vest weather.
Look like wax wings. What these? Are these like wax wings? What are wax?
What's a wax?
Oh, these on here.
Oh, what, the birds?
Oh, the birds.
Okay.
Sorry, we may be a little behind schedule because I'm now not getting
about the crisps.
Yeah, sorry. Because the messages are... I've got this weird problem that I've had before. Lewis is so middle class. Oh, sorry, that's not even to us. I beg your pardon, Claire. She's talking to somebody else. Oh, Groomsbridge. Thank you, Julia. Thank you. I'm glad somebody's paying attention. Groomsbridge in Kent.
Yes.
So, a very nice village. Been through it. On the way to Biddenden.
Yes,
actually.
that's it. Yeah.
So...
Rings a bell.
What's the time? We better get on with the gallery. I need to do the gallery because we got a grand finish involving cream.
Oh no, and the other thing.
Oh, and the other. Oh yeah, we're going to get on to the other thing. The other thing's hilarious. So
get on with the gallery. Save some of that juice.
I'm saving the juice. Right. Okay, we're going to get on with the gallery. I forgot about the other thing.
Oh god, you'll be here all night.
You've got your big long red thing to get out. So. Let's go to the gallery. Let's get the gallery music going. I forgot about that. So on the gallery tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have some amazing photographs sent in by yourselves to the Board Explorer group page. And here we go. Here is the first one. This is Paul... Hines sent this in. All Saints Church. It's a lovely looking church. It's very Georgian by the looks of things. Thorny Hill in the New Forest, Hampshire. Beautiful church was built in 1906. Oh, there we are. By the Manor family. And he says it was in memory of their daughter Mary Christine, who died of cholera in India in 1904. So that's very sad, but certainly a lovely building. You have to go and find that sometime. This is Mark English with his Spiral Paranormal team. With some of his friends from another team, explored a really remarkable and unique location down in Hastings in Mary in the Castle, which was formerly a Georgian church built in 1823. Is that Mark there? I can't really see.
Can I see orbs?
You can see orbs. I can see. Look.
Is that one or is that one?
I think they're lights under the balcony.
Oh.
Yeah, they're not
Don't
orbs.
spoil it.
Yeah, no, I'm so. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, they're orbs.
They're
orbs. I can see the ghost of
Orbs.
Christmas past. Talking of orbs and interesting colours, this is from Julie Ann Kench. On an autumn day, nothing beats walk in the woodlands and picking chestnuts. Oh, yes, I wish I'd gathered some chestnuts because I could put them on my new fire when it comes, my new stove. We have these woodlands near us in Hellingly called Park Woods, open fields in some areas too. I love tall trees. Oh, yeah. It's very beautiful, very beautiful. Lovely colours in that picture. Thank you very much, Julie. Meanwhile, here we go. Matthew Holdsworth. Lovely day at Christ's Hospital today on Old Blues Day. Oh, I suppose they're all a bit down in the dumps on Blues Day, are they?
Or they're just so cold they've all turned blue.
Could well be. Playing their saxophones. View of the quad. Quad. How many schools these days have a quad? Do you have a quad at your school?
No.
No. Showing the dining hall. This was taken from the art school. Thank you very much. Just rub it in. So here's Jonathan Beluzic says, a bit of a gorgeous sunset in Rustington tonight, but is it art?
Is it art?
Is it art? I don't know. Thanks to Jonathan. Glenn Johnson has been to a building that's seen better days by the looks of things. A few pics of Midhurst Discovery Walk with Richard and Kevin. Hello, Richard. Kevin here. Oh, yeah, so is that the back end of Cowdrey? Must be. It's the only building that looks like that in Midhurst. On to some lovely ducks. This is Liz Housden. These 13 ducks went swimming one day in the River Rother, and they all drowned in a horrible and agonising death. Oh, no, sorry, it doesn't say that. It says they were very noisy too. Ah, bless. How lovely. Is that nice? Duck à l'orange, I believe, is the next thing. Here we go. If you like a bit of wind farm in your sea, this is lovely Claire Leach. Missed the bus in Saltdean yesterday morning, but thought I'd make the most of it by taking these photos. Hope you like them. I'm rowing out, she says, to the Rampion... What does it say there? Into the Rampion wind farm, and I shall be taking the saw that Kevin Hall gave Richard and sawing the eyesore down. Good for you, Claire Leach.
Chainsaw out.
That's it. Well done. That's nice to get a shot of those. Brendan Potts has got a sea view too. He says, me, my mum and my auntie went on a nice walk on Seaford Beach on Sunday. A nice picture. Look at that. See where Claire Leach has managed to chop down the Rampion farm.
Clear.
It's all clear. What a lovely view. So thank you, Brendan, for that. Bring us an update. It's so good. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Bev Barsby. I'm in New York at the moment. This is an original wooden escalator from the 1920s in Macy's. So there we are. We have viewers all over the world, you know. That's
international.
Amazing. International on wooden escalators. Yeah. Wouldn't you believe it? So anyway, thank you so much for posting those wonderful pictures. Apologise if we don't get to your comments because I've had this weird problem with the comments. However, I think it's time to get the long rid thing out.
Yeah.
Do you reckon? Make some room. So, Emily Champion, what is that you're holding in your hand?
This is Silly Sausage.
Silly Sausage?
Yeah, I think he's called Silly Sausage.
And what is it?
It's a reaction game.
It's a game? Mm-hmm. Okay.
No cream involved.
No cream.
Just your hands and the silly sausage.
So what do we have to do?
Right, well, let's see if I turn it on to... Let's put it on that one.
Silly sausage! Come on, play with me! Poke me! Stretch me! Dip me! Dip me! Stretch me! Poke me! Poke me! Stretch me! Dip me! Stretch me! Dip me! Poke me! Dip me! Stretch me! Poke me! Poke me! Dip me! Stretch me! Dip me!
Enough. What is it saying at the... What's the one that you do in the bottom?
Right.
Poke. No, poke.
Dip.
Hello?
Dip me.
Oh, dip me.
Come on!
All right,
play with me!
Yes.
Play with me.
Play with me.
Right, it's your turn.
Right, so...
Press his belly.
That's the press one.
Yeah.
That's the dip.
Yeah.
And then
there is another one where you have to twist it and shake it. Shall I put it on that one? Do you want to try that?
Silly sausage.
How do you twist him?
Silly.
Oh, like that. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, single. The high score is 5.
High score is 5.
Start. Shake me.
Check.
Shake me. Dip me.
Hit you.
Dip.
Oh,
Oh no! You're the worst.
I'm the worst.
Your score
Yeah.
is 1.
1.
Poke me to play again.
Yeah.
Stretch me.
He died.
Oh no! You're the worst.
You demonstrate one more time because I clearly I'm doing something wrong.
Shake me. Shake me. Poke me. Oh no!
You've got to be really
I know.
fast, haven't you?
Your score is 1.
No, I'm glad it's not just me.
Play again. Dip me. Dip me. Poke me. Oh,
What's the
no.
slow one that you had it
You're
on to
the
begin with?
worst. You're
I think we need to.
silly sausage.
Oh, it's louder.
No, it is.
Play with me.
Try that.
Okay.
Dip me. Stretch me. Poke me. Stretch me. Poke me. Dip me. Stretch me. Dip me. Dip me. Poke me. Stretch me. Poke me.
What?
Poke me. Dip me. Dip me. Stretch me. Poke me. Poke me. Dip me. Stretch me. Stretch me. Dip me. Poke me. Dip me. Stretch me. Poke me. Poke me.
Yes, all right.
Stretch me. Poke me. Poke me. Dip me. Dip me. Stretch me. Poke me. Stretch me. Stretch me. Dip me. Poke me.
Does it ever stop?
Poke me. Poke me. Stretch me. Dip me. Stretch me. Poke me.
It
Dip
was
me.
send you mad.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. We'll bring
Come
that back.
on. Play with me.
Play with me.
Play with me.
I want to see the comments now. I want to see what the comments. I can't get to. Let's see if we can get to some comments. Come on, update. Oh, it's updating. Wait a minute, ladies and gentlemen. We're updating. Your hair would have got cold. Oh, what? Carnation milk. God, it's gone back to carnation milk. Oh, here we are. It's lost for evaporate. What? No, wait. No, come on. Sorry about this. Just trying to. That was so good, says Anne Osborne. Hello. Stay on page. Stay on page. Give us your comments. Give us your comments. And she is a teacher, says Steve Blakey. Yes, absolutely. Liz Housen is speechless. Nikki Jess is amused. Yes, as we all are. I begin to think Richard was super rubbish until I realised my sound isn't in sync. Ah, yeah, well, that would be a problem. Stretch me, says he. Hello, Richard.
Poke
Kevin
me.
here. Stretch me.
Poke me.
Poke me. Dip me.
Twist me.
Twist me. It's
Hello.
Hello. Play with me. It's all a little
Crazy.
Hey, right. Anyway, so yeah, we'll have to gonna get some more games, I think, on the show.
yeah, yeah.
More to hug me. Yeah, that would be good. Stretch me. Oh, yeah, said that.
Throw me.
Throw me. Torture me.
Beat me.
Beat me.
Whip me.
So we've only got 5 minutes,
Right, we've
6
got
minutes
eight.
to
We've got
go.
more
6 minutes to
food.
go. We've got some more food to end the show, and it involves cream, ladies and gentlemen, which is going to be very exciting. Now, lovely Emily, what is this cream concoction?
Right, it's going with some homemade pumpkin pie.
Homemade pumpkin pie.
Using an American recipe.
Homemade pumpkin,
With pumpkin-
pie, you hear?
Pumpkin
Yo.
brought over from America.
So, did you grow the pumpkins like Richard Suggett did?
No, I got
No.
this out of a tin.
Oh, what the
I
pumpkin?
made the pumpkin pie, but
But the
it's
tin
the actual.
is the tin is tinned pumpkin.
Yeah,
Can you get tinned?
yeah, from America. Yeah.
Oh right. A while back, there was going around on the internet a squeezy bottle, you know, like tomato ketchup, and it was squeezy bacon, and you could, you know,
Okay.
put squeezy bacon onto a like tomato
So
ketchup.
it came out hard.
No, it was like bacon. It was
It
just
was
like in a tube.
a mousse.
Yes,
Bacon mousse.
but it turns out it was a joke. It wasn't actually
fake
but,
news, was
But the
it?
thing was, I thought, I'm surprised nobody's gone, that's a good idea. Because it would be like a sandwich filler. Yeah, you want a bit of bacon, just comes out in this sort of ooze.
You get pretty much everything else in mousse.
Well, yeah, I mean, these days everything comes out in a bit of a sort of ooze, doesn't it? It's just like baby... Wondered what you were going to do with the cream. Luckily, the cream has not touched any part of my head. Not yet, anyway. Right. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen.
Get that
this
down
is
your neck.
Homemade, well, sort of American pumpkin from a tin. Yep. With a bit of cream. And did you make the pastry?
I didn't make the pastry. I bought it, but then...
So what you're saying is really you assembled this.
I assembled it, yeah.
You assembled pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
It smells very nice. And it's very, it's very hot. It's very, very hot. Is it hot?
What?
No, it's freezing cold. Temperature-wise.
It was hot when I cooked it.
Oh, was it? So it's like cheesecake, is it? In a way.
Yeah, it is.
Is there any cheese in it? Just pumpkin mix and... No,
there's other ingredients as well, but if I tell you, I'll have to kill you.
Oh, right. I don't want to be killed, so you can keep it a secret. Okay. You're going to tell me after I've eaten it. Oh, well, you've eaten yours. I noticed you pre-cut this, so you probably got the mark
so I know
A and B.
One.
Yeah, that's right.
I know which one's the dodgy one.
You weren't in Salisbury a few months back, were you?
I'm not really a teacher, I'm just undercover.
Oh.
It's an unusual taste, isn't it? You're like just thinking of a complimentary word.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pumpkin-y. Do you think it tastes like pumpkin? I can't really...
It's got elements of it, but I think it's because you have to put cinnamon and stuff on it.
Oh, yeah, I like the cinnamon.
I think that's the bits you can taste.
Mm-hmm. It's nice. And it has that sort of cheesecake texture, doesn't it?
It's moist.
Yes, it's
very cheesecakey.
Yeah. I mean, if you know in the building trade, you might say it was a bit like clunch.
Oh yeah, a bit of clunch.
It always goes down that. But actually,
brown clunch.
It has that weathered look and the withered look. It's quite pleasant. I couldn't eat much of it though.
No, you'd be sick.
I'm glad you only brought one slice in. So and the cream helps to reduce the flavour.
You're not really selling it, are you?
No, it is nice. No, thank you very much for going to the trouble. Where did you get the tin?
After he sits on the toilet all night.
Yeah. I'll be visiting your class, ready to whittle in the.
Can be the other end.
Where did you get the tin of? I'm just gobsmacked that there's pumpkins galore.
Yeah, I know.
And that you can the lazy way. How lazy? I'm not saying you, but I think it's fascinating that you did it.
Well, they do in America. They would just buy it in a tin and make it from there. Because it is an American thing.
Pumpkin
pie. Yeah, pumpkin pie. It's called Buddy's pumpkin pie.
Buddies.
Yeah, I got it from Amazon.
Oh, did you? Gosh.
Not cheap.
Well, and so when it comes in a tin, like a tin of Heinz beans, that's
yeah. You open it up like you would a tin, and then it's.
And when you looked at it, you didn't think
it's like puree.
I might give that to the cat.
No, how much was it? It was about. It's about £4 a tin or something.
Plus postage and packing.
Yeah.
Christ.
It's not cheap for it.
Well, I'm blowed. But I have to say, it's not sugary or sweet. Not like normally when I've had. No disrespect to John Berger and our lovely American friends, but a lot of their stuff is sickly sweet compared to.
Well, it has got sugar in it, and it's got carnation milk.
Oh my God, our teeth are going to rot out like that baby. We're all going to have dentures. How old was the baby when it had its first teeth? Oh my giddy aunt. What has she done? This is Emily Champion. I vowed after the first show she came, I'm not having that woman back again with her cream thrower. And now she's put carnation.
I'm very sad to say that woman did become an alcoholic.
What, the one that fed the baby?
No, the baby.
Oh, the baby became an
ultimately
alcoholic.
Yeah.
She had no teeth when she was 3.
It's awful.
She could only sup from the bottle of a gin.
Oh, how awful is that?
Gosh, that is. Some people do have some odd lives, as indeed we do. Let's see if I can see any of the comments.
I'm sure people
now.
think I'm odd.
Well, we're all a bit odd. Hopefully, we're all
on the odd spectrum.
Yes, I think you've got to be individual and a bit crackers, haven't you? Emily, are any of your students watching?
No, they don't own TVs.
They don't own TVs.
So no.
Or the internet.
No.
They're a bit like the Amish, aren't they? Or the Amish, in some respects.
They do have internet now for their work, but it's the worst bit about it is when we try to do stuff at school, like we try to research things. It always comes up with, sorry, educational sites are blocked.
Oh, educational sites are blocked. So you can go on and watch a bit of porn.
But you can't watch anything educational.
But anything educational. Mind you, some porn can be quite educational. I wouldn't know. I mean, I've only read about it, obviously. John Berger says, no worries, Richard. John Berger from America, this is. He says, no worries, Richard. I don't like pumpkin pie either. So it doesn't mind that.
It's an acquired taste.
It is, yes, it's not too bad. Mark Selwood says, Richard Pumpkins didn't touch the sides the way he woofed it down. It's true. I didn't let my taste buds have a chance. Richard Suggett says, I could make a fortune then. Yeah, this is the thing. Grow these pumpkins, shove them into a can. I wonder how many pumpkins it takes to get into a can.
Yeah, I don't know. It was very pureed up, so it wasn't all stringy.
No. Oh, right. So there you go. And puree it up. Anything sells in a can, obviously. I say obviously as if that's true. Liz Housden is still speechless. I'm sorry, Liz.
Sorry?
Yes. So sorry, Liz.
So sorry, love.
I need a couple of these now to sort of
soak up the...
vitalise my taste buds.
So we've gone from no fat, no nothing to everything that's really bad for you.
I'm now healthy.
But it did say on this tin of pumpkin, it said it was gluten-free, fat-free, pumpkin-free.
Yeah, was it no MSG,
Probably.
vegan, corn-free, dairy-free?
Although I had this
fibre.
silly argument the other day. Now, excuse my ignorance,
Okay. Join the club.
but I was reading something about veganism, which I'm all for us not harming animals. You know,
Get down,
and eventually I will. You know, I have been a
Kill your
vegetarian.
pets.
I've been a vegetarian in the past, but this thing with vegan, the whole idea of being a vegan, I thought was not to harm animals. But some vegans are taking it such a step further that they've actually got nothing left to eat, because they're saying, well, they won't eat anything that a bee has created.
So
even
no
though
honey.
So nothing honey based. But then I think to myself, well, most of our plants that we eat have had a bee involved because they've had to
pollinate it. Yeah.
So what are you saying? That you can't eat that particular vegetable because a bee's done its job? So is it like bee slave labour?
Well,
so how far do you take this?
Well, they should starve themselves to death because
Well,
they're
this is what will
obviously
happen.
they're
You have
using up
nothing to eat.
resources that animals could use. You know, the air that they're breathing, an animal could
Well,
breathe.
people are saying that it's cruelty to plants, that they're screaming when you cut them down. So where do you end?
Well,
I'm confused.
Well, hopefully they will die out.
Probably.
Those vegans.
Maybe someone's got the answer.
Yeah, if you've
somewhere.
got the answer, I'd be interested. Send me
Because
an
I'm
email.
getting very confused with the whole thing now.
So do you get kids in your class saying, "Hello, miss, I'm a vegan. I can't eat
No, they
nothing."
wouldn't be allowed to do that.
They wouldn't be
No,
allowed to be
no.
vegan. Oh, because of their strange religion. Fat up the calf and sacrifice it. That's the sort of thing they get
they're
up
the
to.
sort of kids that would, quite happily torture an animal.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Pull the antlers
Yeah,
off a
they
small
are. They're
ant.
cruel. They're cruel.
Do ants have antlers?
Antlers. Don't know.
They
maybe
can
do.
lift several times their body weight, can't they? I should think they ought to
can.
have antlers.
Yeah.
Ants.
They're strong.
Yeah. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we probably bored you.
Sorry.
It's
Just
senseless
went off on
today. I think we've gone over time. Yes, 4 minutes over time. I hope you've enjoyed the show. It's been an absolute joy to have the lovely Emily Champion in. We've talked about kids and problems with parents. The kids have terrible problems with their parents
And we
these
didn't
days.
even get onto the subject of the fat man.
We didn't talk. Oh yeah, we'll have to save that for
Yeah,
another
we'll
day.
have to do that another day.
The fat man. Yes, we're not being fattest.
Racist.
We're not
Racist.
being fattest, but Emily Champion has got an interesting thing you're doing over Christmas.
Well, just before Christmas.
Just before Christmas, she's going to put herself at the mercy of the elements, it sounds to me. And instead of going on holiday to somewhere nice and warm in the south of France or even hotter climes, you're going to become a land girl.
Yeah.
And join the
Staying
land
in a
army.
prefab.
In a prefabricated hut. Whereabouts?
I think it's in Somerset.
In Somerset, see? And down there in Somerset, in the winter, they get a lot of snow, it's cold and wizened. But don't worry about Emily, because she'll be all right, see? Because she's going to follow the guidebook of the day from the War Office. So really, the Public Office of Information, or whoever it was, you're going to be rationed and you're going to keep yourself fit. So we won't linger on that now, but we'll get you back next time to talk about the rest. And maybe next time you come, we'll cook something according to a recipe
Yes,
book.
we'll do that. Some mock cream or something.
We'll make up some wartime recipes that you would have to do on
Spam fritters.
There you go. Anything I can do on a hob.
Yeah.
I can only do it on a hob in the show, and we'll cook them up. Maybe Richard Suggett can come up with some suggestions. He can bring the ingredients. Yes, there we are, Richard. Grow something that...
wartime kitchen garden.
Some bully beef and... not bully beef. Powdered egg.
Dr. Carrot.
Yeah.
Potato Pete.
Yeah, I've got a book about it. You've got a whole load of books. But what was interesting, just before we go, is it was curious that the diet that they had back then during the wartime kept people incredibly fit compared to eat whatever you like these days, and the astonishing overweight that we have and the terrible stuff that we got in. So it's an interesting comment on life. But anyway, we'll cover all that in that next
we'll
show.
Do that next time.
So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
It's been an absolute joy. And thank you for bringing your big red sausage.
And my opinions.
And all your opinions, which are all valid. Yes, that's it. Well, it's always good to wind them up. I do that all the time. Whip them into a creamish fairy. Oh, yes, Elizabeth says cook it on my essay. Well, we could try cooking it in the kitchen on my new stove.
When we get it through the door.
Brilliant, yes. First thing she said, I said, here, I'm getting this lovely stove, have a look. She said, well, will it come through the door? Practical as ever. Practical as ever.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. It's been an absolute joy, but we have to go. So I'm just trying to find the various things. So, Emily, you know what to say.
When you hear this music...
When you hear the music, it means got to disappear and get the old red sausage out and get the cream going. Or words to that effect. She's going to beat me with it. No!
Julia! See you guys.
Until next time. No show tomorrow. Next show probably Friday, I think. I'll put an announcement on the webpage. Thanks so much for watching. But from Emily and I, goodbye.
Barbara Windsor.
It's Barbara Windsor. Oh, matron. Goodbye.